Chapter 8 covers the topics of restricting rows and sorting data. By restricting rows, we mean instead of selecting every single record in the table, we're only going to retrieve rows based on a stated condition. Certain criteria has to be met before a record is returned as one of the results of your select clause. We restrict rows in the where clause of a select statement. That where clause is going to have a condition. The condition requires at least three things: a column name, a comparison operator, such as less than, greater than, equal to. We'll also learn that there are some comparison keywords that we may use. And then finally, a value or column for comparison. So in other words, we're going to say this column is equal to this value, or this column is greater than this column. Note that the values are case sensitive. Page 246 shows an example. You list the where clause after the from clause. Remember, we're talking clauses here. We already knew that a select statement has the select clause and the from clause. If you want to restrict data, you're going to include now a where clause. Enclose non-numeric data in single quotes. Here's an example. They're going to select the last name and the state fields from the customer's table. Their condition is where state equals FL. Notice the single quotes. The results, 4 records. They show the last name and the state. Comparison operators indicate how the data should relate to the given search value. That's that less than, greater than, or equal to. Page 250 has a table of comparison operators you can use in Oracle SQL. Other comparison operators shown here, notice these are some key words. We can check on values that are between a value and another value. We can ask if a value is in a list of comma-separated values. The like comparison operator or comparison keyword is pretty interesting. It will allow you to look for data that has certain characters in the data. Lastly, the is null or is not null to run comparisons where null values may be in the field. Let me remind you something real quickly about syntax diagrams. Remember, the square brackets are optional. The between and operator finds values in a specified range. The user wants to select the title and pub ID from the books table, where the pub ID is between 1 and 3. Notice that it selects all records that has a pub ID of 1, 2, or 3. So between 1 and 3, that's an inclusive between 1 and 3. That means it includes 1 and 3. The in operator returns records that match a value in a specified list. The list must be in parentheses. The values in the list must be separated by commas. The bullet's not here, but I also want to add non-numeric data has to be in single quotes. The in comparison operator, so they're checking to see where pub ID is in this list. It's either pub ID 1 or 2 or 5. And that's what we see here, 1s, 2s, and 5s. The like operator performs pattern searches. You use wildcard characters with the like operator. There's 2 wildcard characters that you'll use. The underscore represents exactly 1 unknown character in the indicated position. And then the % symbol represents any number of characters, including 0, any number of characters in that particular position. First example uses the % wildcard character. So this example, they're selecting the last name from the customer's table, where last name is like uppercase P. Remember, case sensitive, the data is case sensitive. Where it begins with an uppercase P, the % symbol says any number of characters. So the results of this select statement should select any customers that have a last name that begin with P. We've got Pearson and Perez. Logical operators are used to combine conditions. In other words, you can have a complex select statement where 2 conditions are used to restrict data. you have to have logical operators combine those two conditions. The logical operators are not, and or. If you use the not condition, it reverses the meaning of a condition. So this doesn't combine, this one is kind of misleading. It doesn't combine two conditions. It simply reverses the results of a condition. However, the and the or logical operators are used to combine two conditions. If you have the and logical operator, that means both conditions must evaluate to true in order for the entire condition to be true and that particular record to be returned in your results. The or logical operator indicates that only one of the conditions must be true in order for the result to be returned, the record to be returned as part of your results. Here's the example of the AND logical operator. We're going to look for the title and the pub ID and the category fields from the books table where the pub ID is 3, so the publisher ID has to be 3, and the category field has to be computer. So that's going to greatly reduce the results of your data using these restrictions. The OR logical operator example. Same select statement, except instead of using the AND, we're going to say where the pub ID equals 3 or the category equals computer. We do see more results in our example. Notice the pub ID is 2, not 3. It's still accepted because the category is computer. It meets this condition. That last record met the second condition. That's your OR logical operator.